From the Ministry of the Presidency in Georgetown, this is This Week with the President.
Welcome to another edition of This Week with the President, a weekly news magazine which provides you with an in-depth look at the policies, programs and work of Guyana's President. I'm your host, Vinita Meshwar. In the highlights this week, more communities benefit from 5B's program. New Peruvian ambassador accredited and President honors one of Guyana's oldest centenarians. Stay with us. Children from low-income families are 2.4 times more likely to drop out from school than those from middle-income families, and about 10 times more likely than their high-income peers. Guyana has a school dropout rate of about 4,000 per year, and these are primarily children from poor families in rural communities. This, President Granger said, is the kind of pervasive societal inequality that needs to be eliminated as the country looks towards the next 50 years. It is against this background that the government's 5B's initiative was born. The most recent beneficiaries of the program are children who reside along the Linden-Suez Dyke Highway and in Baracara, East Berbice.
It is a very, very good thing. I live straight across the road here, and I'm glad because it's for the children them come to school through Ideal Road, you know. The children them could get to reach in school on time, because sometimes the parents has got to take care for bring them to school and the care don't be on time. So, you know, it's a great help.
My name is Abina Noble. Well, I feel happy because after a long time, I'm very happy. I have a new boss that we get to train them to the school class morning time to train us work to go to school. I'm very happy, very, very happy right now. My heart is very, very happy.
Berbice businessman Mr. Peter Lewis donated a 72-seater bus which will cater for children from as far as Madawini in Yarrow Cabral. This vehicle was commissioned on April 15 by President Granger.
I know that many children don't go to school because they have no transport or they have nothing to eat. I've been in every single region of this country, and the idea for this school bus came from students like you, students in West Coast Berbice, students in Pomeroon River, many of whom don't go to school when the day comes simply because they can't afford the transportation. I always tell a story of a little girl who got a scholarship to go to Berbice High School. She lives in Trafalgar Village on West Coast Berbice. $5,000 a week her parents have to pay to get her from Trafalgar Village to New Amsterdam. That can't be fair. That could never be fair. I know in the Pomeroon River, a father who actually left his farm to go into the gold fields to work for money to keep his children in school. That can't be fair. He abandoned his farm because he loved his children so much. But now we've been able to put a bus in West Coast Berbice. We've been able to put a boat in the Pomeroon River. We've been able to put bicycles on the Corentyne coast. And in so doing, we must thank our donors, because this didn't come from government funds. It came from people like Mr. Peter Lewis.
Since the launch of the program last year, it has touched communities in all 10 administrative regions in Guyana and is seen as the ideal public-private partnership.
Access to education is a necessary imperative for the development of Guyana. It is important for me to highlight that we cannot allow or accept simple means such as lack of proper transportation to impede our young, curious, and potential innovative minds from attending school.
This is the 7th bus that has been commissioned under the program. Meanwhile, in Berbice, the president made good on a promise he made to the residents of Baracara Village in December of last year by providing a speedboat which was donated to the 5B's program by Rubis Guyana.
We believe that education is the single factor that can catapult a person from one economic stratum to the next. It has the power to significantly assist a country in re-engineering its economic fortune and global positioning. It is from this backdrop we embrace the initiative.
The president said that for a small community such as Baracara to develop, the focus on education must be unwavering.
And I believe that education will be the way forward for Barakarians. I believe that if we have every child going to school, if we keep every child in school, if we make children want to go to school and stay in school and get qualified, they'll be able to turn this community around. So my commitment and the commitment of Rubis and the other donors who've helped in this program over the last 10 months is to ensure that every child stays in school. As you know very well, in this country, every year 4,000 children drop out of school. Many of them because they don't have transport. They can't afford the transport.
The 5Bs program is just one of many interventions that the government is implementing to reduce the alarmingly high school dropout rate and improving academic performance.
I want you to feel that the changes which are taking place in this country have not passed Baracara by. That is empowerment. The boat is very important. And that boat will unlock the key to development. First, through education. Second, through employment. Third, through enterprise. And fourth, through empowerment.
While in Region 6, President Granger attended a special sunrise service at the 180-year-old Albion Chapel Congregational Church at Firish Village. The church service ushered in a week of activities that culminated in the community's inaugural Village Day.
This service and this week celebration help us to remember the past, but more important, these events must help us to plan for a brighter and better future.
The president spoke of the 4 pillars that drive community development: the church, the school, the home, and the farm, and urged residents to strengthen these pillars so as to revive the fortunes of Firish, a village that was once the agriculture powerhouse of the Corentyne Coast.
You all know the story that even when Blackbush Boulder was being opened for the first time, they got their seedlings, they got their planting material from Firish. But now we've seen that other communities which have benefited from the beneficence and the generosity of Firish seem to be overtaking Firish in prosperity. But we must look to that, look to ourselves, our children, and our diaspora, not to turn the tide, but to ensure that all of the communities rise like a river. If the river is full, all of the boats will rise together. You don't have to have higher and lower. You don't have to have richer and poorer. We can all do better together.
The president also attended the Rose Hall Town Youth and Sports Club 26th Annual Award and Prize Giving Ceremony, where a number of cricketers, teachers, police officers, and corporate sponsors were recognized for their contributions over the past year.
The club every year undertakes a total of 300 activities programs under numerous sub-headings including sports, culture, education, charity, anti-drugs, anti-suicide, anti-crime, youth development, community development, awards, honors, religion, youth employment, among others. The management of the Rose Hall Town Youth and Sports Club would like to reassure the general public that we cherish our title as Guyana's best a great deal, and we intend to uphold the high tradition we have set ourselves. Our club is fully committed to the development of Guyana, and under the leadership of our patron, we will work hard every single day to make a positive difference in the lives of those less fortunate than us.
President Granger reiterated a call for the Rose Hall Town Youth and Sports Club to be replicated in other regions of Guyana.
Coming out of the colonial setting in which sport was regarded as the exclusive preserve of some people, what we see is a sort of democratization. And I would like to see not only Rose Hall Town having a youth and sports club, but Mabaruma Town and Bartica Town and Lethem Town.
During the ceremony, the 2 female cricketers, Miss Shemaine Campbell and Miss Tremaine Smart, who recently returned home after winning the ICC T20 tournament in India were honored by the club. The club was established in 1980. The services it has provided for youths, the elderly, and less fortunate has resulted in it receiving numerous prestigious awards from the Commonwealth, the International Olympics Committee, and various local organizations. In February, President Granger presented the club with the National Award, the Medal of Service. Guyana's 45-year-old cordial relations with the Republic of Peru was further strengthened this week with the accreditation of a new diplomatic envoy, who expressed his country's willingness to cooperate with Guyana in the areas of security and defense. Ambassador Mario Lopez Chavarri presented his letters of credence to President Granger in a demonstration of Peru's commitment to strengthen bilateral relations and economic cooperation with Guyana.
The Cooperative Republic of Guyana in this regard supports the development of productive partnerships between our two republics, especially in the areas of fishing, mining, and agriculture. Your Excellency, our two republics are committed to regional cooperation as a means of achieving higher standards of living for our peoples.
Both countries share common interests which provide a solid foundation for improved relations at the bilateral, regional, and international levels.
We share an interest in the values of democracy, of peace, of respect for human rights, of sustainable development, of the eradication of poverty, and the peaceful settlement of disputes. Guyana, like Peru, places great confidence in the rule of international law, and particularly the role of international juridical bodies, such as the International Court of Justice, to definitively settle territorial controversies.
Peru has had territorial disputes with Chile and Ecuador, as Guyana has with neighbors Venezuela and Suriname. In this regard, both countries can benefit from each other by taking a united stance in the international arena to ensure that sovereignty of countries are safeguarded. President Granger during the week signed a book of condolence for Chile's former president, His Excellency Patricio Azúcar. The book was opened at the Embassy of the Republic of Chile in Brummel Place, Stabroek.
It's an honor to come to pay tribute to a great statesman, a great leader of the South American continent.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor to have you in Chilean territory here in Guyana. It's an honor to have your presence here in terms that you trusted, as President Elwin did, a vision and a dream for your nation, as President Elwin had for our nation in transition for democracy, and to bring about the progress to all the people of Chile, as well your endeavors to bring about all the progress to the people of Guyana.
Earlier this week, the president was among the first in Guyana to have samples taken for the conduct of an ancestry deoxyribonucleic acid or DNA test. The test is being launched for the first time in the country by Eureka Medical Laboratory. The president met with the mayor of Bartica, Mr. Gifford Marshall, who announced May 7th as the new date for the Bartica Township celebrations. He also met with representatives from the Bihari Group of Companies, Brazilian Cardinal Claudio Humms, and head of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Georgetown, Bishop Francis Allen. Though some of her faculties may be fading, soon-to-be 105-year-old Olive Blackmore is an avid reader of the daily newspapers and had often expressed her wishes of meeting with President Granger. As such, her family reached out to the Ministry of the Presidency to facilitate a meeting with the head of state for this milestone occasion.
There are so many similarities between her and my own mother. My mother was born in Charlestown, and she had 8 children. Of course, I'm number 7. And I have 5 brothers and 5 sisters and 2 brothers. So there were 8 of us. And had my mother been alive today, she would have been 111. But of course, she's not alive. But I just hope that Mrs. Blackmore could live comfortably for the rest of her days and would be happy and her health would hold up. So it's good to be here on behalf of the government of Guyana to honor a citizen who was born when people didn't even have watches or radios.
Or cell phones.
Or cell phones. Or even telephones. Because sometimes in the village, you know, there were no phones. You know, people would have to go somewhere to get a trunk call.
Yes.
Or to send a cablegram or something like that. But many people living today don't know what Guyana was like in those days. That's why we have these clocks at Stabrook and Border, because people have watches. You have to depend on public clocks to know the time. Now they have watches, we're always late. But it's good to be here to share these few moments, precious moments with one of our senior citizens, and to convey our best wishes to her and her family, who have sustained her, you know, in a home where she can rely on the friendship and the comradeship and the solidarity and the fellowship of the church and her relatives.
Mrs. Blackmore was born on May 23, 1911 in Charlestown, and is the mother of 10 children, 8 of whom are alive. She's also a devout Catholic who still recites the Holy Rosary every morning. That brings us to the end of the program. Thank you for joining me. For regular updates on the Ministry of the Presidency, go to our website www.motp.gov.ui. Like our Facebook page, Ministry of the Presidency, and follow us on Twitter and Instagram at MOTP Guyana. Do have a safe and productive rest of the week. Goodbye.